Hey, we are a very, very small church in New Zealand, and we have been forced, like many, many churches around the world, to think, how do we do church in a lockdown? We've been 3 weeks isolated in our little homes, in our little bubbles, and we obviously have a challenge of how do we still keep connected to our church family. For us, a huge part of that has been Ecamm. I'm able to facilitate kind of like a live show feel to church where I MC it from this very seat, and we bring in content that we get people to video from their homes and send through to us. And when we get that, I use Ecamm to put it all into a church service. There's a whole bunch of things that Ecamm allows us to do that are really, really critical in terms of how we stay connected to other people in the church. So we get live Skype interviews happening with families from the church so that we interview them, we ask them how they're going, we hear from them what are the challenges, what are the opportunities. So that's something that's been really cool, just so that when you tune in that you're not just seeing me and pre-recorded material, which would be pretty bland. We are bringing in people to have just that sense of we're in something and it's live and it's dynamic and it's now, and so we use the Skype interviews for that. People, we're encouraging them to use the YouTube comments, which I pull into the theme, just to say hi, or to see where we're doing, to comment on things, silly things that I might say during the message. Last week I wore a hat and someone said, "I like your hat." But sometimes there's a lot more deep stuff in there. We get interactive photos. We have challenges that our children's worker does every week, and we get the kids sending a material. I bring it up on screen, we talk it through, and there's comments. So there's some fun stuff that we're doing with that, just that getting that live feel of we are doing something at the same time, that corporate mentality. So that's something that we're doing, and that's been awesome. Ecamm brings the comments in, that's cool. The Skype happens. But the other thing that's been really good is having the pastors come in to do short little bits where they can address. I can get out of the scene and just leave the screen on a Skype call. So lots of creative ways we can do it. So I'm going to set up a service for you, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So the very first thing that I do is when we go live, which could be just before our scheduled go live time, maybe 10 minutes before the service time, I put up a splash screen. So the splash screen looks like this. I just created this in Photoshop to do 1920 by 1080, and the countdown timer is a feature of Ecamm. So to put that in, I can get rid of it if I want to. I can make it, move it around, I can delete it. So to put one in, if you wanted to have a countdown timer, you go down to the bottom here on the overlays section, you go countdown timer, you set up a countdown to a date or time is what I want. I want it to be the 19th of April at 10 o'clock a.m., which is less than 2 days away. Now, the thing I haven't done before, but I just noticed it this morning, was you can set this up so when you've got the countdown timer going and you know what time you're going to go live, you can go to the next scene when you're finished. So that's really helpful. So I don't have to sit here and manually do things. This is just going to get rid of this splash screen, is what I've called this, and it will then put it into the next scene. So all I have to do is drag that somewhere where I can find it later, and boom. So what we've got for you to see is a run order. So one of the really important things that we do, where are you? What's happening? If I click on this, will that change the screen? Oh no, I'll go to the next screen. Go back to this, and I'll go screen share, and we'll go secondary display. Boom. So you'll see that we had a little bit of a Zoom session the other day. We worked out how we wanted the service to look, the kind of things we wanted in place. You'll see up the top some ideas for this week, and we've turned that into a little bit of a run order. So if I move that up, you'll see what we're looking at. We'll zoom in a little bit somehow. No, we won't. We'll just leave it as it is. So that's our sort of planning session that we have with the pastors and me. I'm not one of the pastors of the church. I'm just someone that said that we wanted to keep doing church even though we weren't sort of meeting together. So that's what we're working with here. We've got a little run order. So I'll come back here and I'll show you my next steps. So first scene is obviously a splash screen. We saw that. What I want to do now is put up from the run order that the next thing is a video that we want to go. So I'll go to a new scene. I will give it a name. The old awkward phone call come in as I was recording that. So I believe I was setting up a video to come in to tomorrow's service. So I know we're going to use one called Build My Life. Whoa, hang on. Build My Life. I'll name it that so I know that's what's going in there. And on here, I just go up to Movie and we go Build My Life because I already brought it in. Excellent. So that should start playing and I can now add a new scene, which brings you back to me. Oh, on Build My Life, if I go back to that scene, what I want to do is change the setting up here to go to the next scene so that when that song finishes, it comes straight into this scene here. Now, one of the things that we also wanted to do was on this scene, I know it's not going to be me, it's going to be one of the lovely ladies in our church saying hello. We get them to pre-record a greeting. Hey guys, how's it going? So we've got some different faces coming up. So she just actually messaged me saying that's coming tomorrow. So I'll call that Shirley. So I know that that's where her video, whoa, not surely. That's where her video will go. Boom. And excellent. And what I've got for that one is I know that I have already done a title. So in this scene, I'll just hit return and, oh, that's not return, that is. In this scene, I know that I've made a title for Shirley, so I can bring, oh, no, I made it as an image. I'll bring it in this, and you'll see, no, it's on my desktop, isn't it? Desktop, Beach Bap, titles, Shirley. So when her video comes, she'll have a little title at the bottom that shows up on that scene. Then on the order of service is me saying hello. So I now go another new scene, live intro. So that would be me. And then on that, I want a little title for my name, just to say hello. Boom, I go there and I made a little splash screen. So just a little title for that. We also can pop up some other bits and pieces. Have I got like a welcome to today's service one? No, I haven't. But you can just do that like welcome to the service. Might want that not to be blue, so I can highlight the text and go make it yellow, add, and boom. Pop it at the top somewhere down here. There we go, we'll pop it there. I might have a tidy up of the background between now and church. So I know I'm up next. It's excellent. Then in our order of service, we are going to have a discussion and some videos. So I'll go for a new scene. We're calling this Life in Lockdown, which is when we get images and stories and interviews with people that are in lockdown. So I created a background graphic for that too. So I'll put that up there and that can go there in the scene. So when I go from me to Life in Lockdown, I get that cool little tile across the side that just adds a little visual element to the service. So we go Life in Lockdown is what we want next. As the next part of the Life in Lockdown session, we're actually going to duplicate that. And then I can go back to this one. Next one, I want to add a movie, which isn't here yet, so I'll leave that one blank, but I know that's going to be from a guy called David. So when I get that email with the attachment, all I'll do back in here is on this scene, on this scene with David, I will just add the movie at the time, same with the Shirley one. So all I'm doing so far is I'm going through the scenes, thinking through the order of what's coming next, and yeah, so there we've got back to this Life in Lockdown. Now at this point we'll probably have, I'll probably do the Life in Lockdown and I don't need this title here, so I can get rid of that from this scene. And the title that I've made for this is about family celebrations. So we'll have birthdays, anniversaries, those sorts of things. So we'll call that family celebration. part of that might be Skype calls, it might be just bring up photos on screen of anyone that we know is having an anniversary. So I manage those with the overlays down here for each scene. With the overlays, you can have things that are there with everything. Like I could do this because I know on some other things that I work on, I like to have that little one. So that could be on every scene. Same with, this is Remote Romberg. That's one I use I'm a school teacher and I've been doing some live lessons using Ecamm, which might be another tutorial. But yeah, I use that one for that. So I'll get rid of that. So those are things that might be in every scene and you can show or hide them as you need to. Whereas these are just on this scene that I've just created called Family Celebrations. So that's return. After Family Celebrations, I'm going to bring in, I think we talked about bringing in the pastor. So what I might like to do on this is if I have, I'll go back over here, just bear with me. I'll go over here and I'll have Skype open. Boom, and we'll go back to Skype and we can have Skype open. I'll get rid of it off this screen. So what I can do with Skype and have it set up is I can use an overlay and I can bring in a Skype caller on here. So that will be someone that we have a conversation with on Skype who wants to help and talk to us through the videos. What I could do is I can get rid of them and I can actually get rid of that and make them the main person and I can be added as another person. We can do it together side by side. I know I'm not on a call yet, but you can see the placeholder for Skype there. I could take that out. What I'd probably do is add me down here so that our Skype person's there. Hey guys, we're doing the notices together and we can bring up videos in any bits and pieces that we need to. So that's pretty cool. So I'll leave that one as like that because I want the other person to drive this. So then we'll go to a new scene, back to me. After our family notices, there is going to be a video, just a fun one. So this is a very short one. Put that one there, and then a new scene. After the video, what did we decide? Oh, I've changed the page over here. After the video, we've got kids stuff. So what that will be is I will have another video coming in from our kids worker, and they will they'll introduce what the theme for the week is for the kids. She's been doing some great work working with the pastors, working out what's the message about and how can I create something that families can do under lockdown conditions that's nice and easy, and we can look at it next week and bring their stories. Like the kids are able to contribute stuff to the service as well. So she does that an amazing job, and that's been awesome. So after this, we're going to have another Skype interview. This is where I will bring in a family from the church. We'll see how they're doing. We'll catch up with them. We'll hear some of the things they're learning from their isolation and what they miss about church, those sorts of things. Just introduces a human element and a live human element. So this is going to be Skype interview. I'll change that with their name later because I'll only see that. You don't need to know their names. So on this scene, we want Skype to be the main thing, and again, an overlay. I'll probably put this one on over there because the Skype conversation goes there. So I'll be small in here. I don't like to look at myself there, so I'll make myself round. And that's that set up. Then we go a new scene. After the Skype interview, we go into... what I do with my family interview is I get them to introduce the sermon for the day. So they become the guest presenter, usually one of the kids or one of the people in there will say, and next up we've got this, just part of making it feel live and not all about this silly face. So after that, we go into the sermon, is what we talked about, and that will be a video that I'll be receiving. And I'll put that up and it will just play. So that's cool. So we've labeled that, and I'll add the video when I get it. I don't have it yet. So that's cool. Next, and what I want to have ready for the sermon. And I didn't do it back there. So if I go back to this scene, this is the scene that I set up for the video with the kids. I have another graphic to introduce the children's worker. And here we'll have the sermon, who I know is going to be Pastor Julie. So I've got one of these. Now you don't actually have to have these as it goes in live. You can sit there and work out when you want them to show. So at the moment I can hide that, but it's in the scene for me to make available at the point in the movie where, or in the video file, when it might be appropriate to introduce her. So same with Meg here. When Meg's up, I don't have to have it showing as the video goes. I'll probably make some tiles or some little name labels for the other people that we've got videos of. So the Life in Lockdown's me, and that the live intro. Me, the family celebrations, that's going to be our pastor, so they'll know who he is. Cool. So after the sermon, we're going into another music file, and I'll show you how to add that. We go into another, what song did I choose? I chose one. Oh, there we go. So we'll go I Surrender. Boom. And that will be a video file. So this is how you add a video file. I choose it from my desktop, Worship for Church, and I Surrender, open. Add back to me. Hi, how you doing? So we worship, and then we're going to do prayer, benediction, those sorts of things. Now I just remembered there was something I wanted to go here after the Skype interview. I had another video pre-sermon, just a short one that I found from Igniter Media, and I want that to go here. Psalm 103 video, that's what it will be. So I hit return, and I can load that up as well. It should be somewhere in my downloads, all going to plan. Where would that have gone? Movies? Oh, it might be a zip file. Downloads. Yeah, I haven't actually. So if I go back down here and I go to my downloads, I haven't unzipped it. That's my problem. I go here, and now I have it. Excellent. So if I go there, boom, and then that one. I can pull the level back if it's too loud, obviously. If you didn't hear me, I said you can pull the level back. I don't want to be on that screen, so I get rid of it. Sermon back there. So if I was you, here's a little trick for you. If I go Command and Right on the keyboard, it just goes to the next scene, auto advances. So watch this. Boom. Go to the end. Oh, I can show you that. Boom, automatically to the next scene, which is really cool. So we get that sermon file. I'll put the file in and make it go to the next scene. It will go into a worship scene. As it comes back to me, I close out the service. We may have some live chat stuff that's come in as we've been recording, and I might put that live, and boom, that's pretty much what we are up to. That's a whole service from beginning to end, planned. All I need to do now, as I've set it up, is I can drop that into all the media that comes into me during the week. I just pop that inside, and we're done. That's it. All I need is media from people. Most of the graphics and titles, I'll go through and play with that, make sure that I've planned through that. I turn, I don't know if I've got one handy here, but I make a whole run order out of material. I'll show you. I know it's down here. So this becomes what I run a service off. Oh no, that's school. That's not church. Here it is. this was a couple of weeks ago. I just have this in front of me, knowing that when things have happened, what titles need to go up, and I basically work through that. So I hope this is useful, start to finish, a whole church service, bringing media in, popping some titles up, doing the countdown timer, and then, boom, it's all ready to go. I use YouTube scheduling so that that's all done. We embed the channel. I set it up earlier in the week. That embed code comes off the live stream site on YouTube and goes onto our church website. We then also send out the link to everybody. We talk to them about subscribing. We have an app that we use for church called Easy Church, and as part of that, we are able to also bring in the live stream code. So I'll show you that in a sec. This is Easy Church loading. Don't record the screen there. And boom, and you'll see at the bottom, there's probably a watch live button. If I press that, the watch live button goes. It's terrible, very unprofessional here. Goes to our stream information, ready to go. And so they can chat from that. They can go doo-doo-doo. If you'd like to know more, get in touch. So this is our process, how we make church happen. Bringing in things that involve the community is the real key for us in this time. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, feel free to message on YouTube, or I'm more than happy to help you get your head around how this can work for your church. It is all Mac based. I should have said that right at the beginning. So I have a Mac, and that's why this has sort of worked out this way. But as you see, it's pretty powerful. It's pretty cool. I'll put some links below to some of our other services so you can see exactly how we do it. Thanks for watching.